Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.
In a packed hearing room, an emotional debate. Should the federal government pay billions of dollars in reparations to African Americans who are descended from slaves as a way to make amends for the atrocity of American slavery?
Slavery is the original sin. Slavery has never received an apology.
This hearing, the first on the issue in a decade, actor Danny Glover and Democratic Senator and presidential candidate Cory Booker making the case for reparations. But even before this hearing began, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell weighing in and sparking controversy.
I don't think reparations for something that happened 150 years ago for whom none of us currently living are responsible is a good idea. We've tried to deal with our original sin of slavery by fighting a civil war, by passing landmark civil rights legislation. We've elected an African-American president.
This debate coming on the same day Vice President Joe Biden drew fire from fellow Democrats for his comments at a fundraiser last night. Recalling a bygone era of civility in Washington, Biden spoke of two segregationist senators, saying of one, Herman Talmadge of Georgia, "One of the meanest guys I ever knew. You go down the list of all these guys." Well, guess what? At least there was some civility. We got things done. And Biden recalling the white supremacist Senator James O. Eastland of Mississippi. "He never called me boy. He always called me son, me son, me son."
Hello world, peace, love, and reparations, black family. Welcome back to the Black AlphaCast. I am Black Alpha 6. What's G-O-O-D good? I appreciate y'all coming through, and thanks to everybody who pulled up to the Twitter space. Once again, we own that whole time slot. We had nothing but intelligent, strong-minded black brothers, sisters, kings, queens, goddess, gods. Everybody who fell through, I send you a major salute, and we're going to keep that coming all through the spring, all through the summer, and all through the year, because this is a certified season. But today, we're going to talk about heritage, mentality, and class, because we've been self-identifying, we've been putting labels on things, and we've been cleaning up a lot of the mess. All the mess that the old coons left behind, we done pulled out the dustpan, the mop, the broom, and we've been cleaning that shit up. And anybody who does not belong in this house has been getting snatched by the collar and thrown on the motherfucking curb. What we say right here all the time on the Black AlphaCast, we put motherfuckers on the curb like it's trash day. And if you do not belong in this house and you are not providing or contributing to the movement or the advancement of foundational black Americans, then we're going to see your ass to the door. Uncle Phil style, straight the fuck up. And cleaning house is what we've always had to do, and cleaning house is what we're doing right now. And I salute that, because this is priority. And another priority is us understanding that anytime foundational black Americans, B-1s, or certifieds get on the same page, expect other people to come in and try to muddy the waters, try to make things real murky, try to cause confusion. And if you look around, that's what's happening. If we say FBA, someone's going to come and say ABF. If we say B1, someone's going to say 1B. If we say certified black, someone's going to say black certified. They're going to take our words, flip them, spin them, remix them, and try to hand it back to us, because they're afraid of the wave we're on, they're afraid of the time we're on, and they're afraid of the advancements that we're making. And if you look around, we've been making it. There's not an aspect of society that's not being affected by B1s right now. You can see it. If you see anything in America, guarantee you see our fingerprints all over it. Things that have nothing to do with us. Ain't a black person listening to this right now that has been to the Ukraine. And if you have been to the Ukraine, good for you. I salute you. Much love. But I can pretty much say with real honesty that the majority of us have not been to the Ukraine. But if you turn on the television, grab your remote, hit click, and turn it on, all you see is black Ukraine, Ukraine, black. They ain't talking about the Ukraine in any other group in America. They're not even talking about the Ukraine in the dominant society. They're trying to draw a direct line between the Ukraine and foundational black Americans. Have y'all seen them trying to get immigrants to support the war? Have y'all seen them trying to get minorities to support the war? People of color to support the war? No. They keep talking about FBAs. We're the ones that they're trying to get to support the war for a lot of reasons. One is because they know we move shit. One is because they know we the strongest motherfuckers out here. America will have a problem with foundational black Americans every day, but anytime they need us, they come calling. So what does that tell you? That lets you know that they know that we some bad motherfuckers. That's what it really means. And before, black folks used to get up and say, well, let me goes and do's it now, because if I do really well at it, maybe when I come home, they'll be nice. This era saying, fuck no. I'm going to sit right here on this couch and pop my motherfucking popcorn and watch TV. That's what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm going to sit this motherfucker out all day long. And that's got them shook. That's why they got to send all their minions on TV and say, you should support the war. You should really care. This is a black issue. You know, they're always trying to tell us what a black issue is. And it hurts their motherfucking coon feelings that we don't go for that. That we say, nope, reject. We ain't taking it. We ain't walking down that line. We staying in the good space. Real good space. And that's bothering them. It's bothering them that their propaganda doesn't work, that their manipulation doesn't work, that their deceit doesn't work. Because that's what they rely on. They rely on fooling people. And when they cannot fool us, they don't know what the fuck to do. So they're getting on television every week. I mean, the damn guy in the Ukraine was bringing up Martin Luther King. The guy was bringing up Martin Luther King. Who you think he was trying to talk to? He wasn't bringing up Martin Luther King so he can get W's to support him. He wasn't bringing up Martin Luther King so he can get the minorities to support him. He was bringing up Martin Luther King so he can get foundationals to support him. You got the president in the Ukraine talking about Martin Luther King the same way politicians in America bring up Martin Luther King. You know when someone is invoking Martin Luther King quotes, they talking to foundational black Americans. That's, let me tell you something. I've never in my life, y'all tell me if I'm right, never in my life have I seen a foreign war that has nothing to do with foundationals. As a matter of fact, America's not even in this war. This is what everybody keeps forgetting. We keep talking about this war like America's in it. This isn't even an American war. So you have a non-American war with a non-American president bringing up our foundational black American hero so he can evoke interest and emotion from us. Ladies and gentlemen, don't that tell you that FBA is the king of the motherfucking hill? Yes, it does. And it also tell you that FBA got motherfuckers shook. You ain't seeing all that just because. You ain't seeing that all because of some coincidence or some accident. That is deliberate, that is orchestrated, and that's a cry for help. So when you move shit like that, that lets you know you're a force. And since we are a force, a lot of people have been trying to twist the game and they've been trying to mangle things up, but we ain't going for it. So you got to be real cautious and real careful. A lot of these folks who come around, you got to start pulling paperwork. Start pulling paperwork. I just listened to Jason Black and the Black Authority the other day. Matter of fact, I spoke to him. I called in and we started speaking about that. He said, who do black politicians work for? And I said, black politicians work for their plantation, and their plantation serves supremacy. And he started speaking about pulling paperwork. As a matter of fact, he was getting on somebody's ass before I called in, and he was checking somebody about pulling their paperwork and saying how they come back and act like they didn't have dirty paperwork, act like they weren't cooning. And what he was doing, he was G-checking them. He was putting them on that G-check list that I'm always talking about, one by one by one. I don't give a damn if we here all night. We're going to go down that list, and any name who makes that list is going to get G-checked. I don't care who you are. And Jason Black and the Black Authority was handling that. He was doing what we call right here on the Black Alpha Network, race regulating. And you got to do that. And a lot of people I've been seeing need to get race regulated.
You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Peace and respect, Brother Jason. This is Black Alpha calling from Savannah, Georgia.
Black Alpha from Savannah, Georgia. What's on your mind?
Well, first off, I appreciate your work. To answer your question directly, black politicians, they serve one thing and one thing only. That's white supremacy and whatever plantation they belong to, whether that's Republican, Democrat, red or blue. And on this plantation, they have one job to do, and that's to saddle up the black vote by any lie necessary and return it home to master. And if they cannot return it home to master, then they will be cut off by any slave benefits that they think they're receiving. That's why people like Joy Reid or Roland Martin, they go TV to the internet. That's why they always go there. So at the end of the day, they serve the plantation that they belong to, White Supremacy Collective, and I appreciate your work, brother.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Y'all damn right, we doing paperwork checks.
As a matter of fact, y'all heard in the beginning, I called in and spoke to Tariq Nasheed the other night, and I started talking about some of these American Negro Indians that been running around, and they're trying to muddy our waters.
Let's get Black Alpha. I see Black Alpha's here. What's up, Black Alpha?
I'm doing good. How you feel about like a lot of these black Indian people that are coming out now saying that they're not foundational black Americans, but they're really indigenous to black America and they deserve reparations? And I see them a lot on Twitter Spaces all the time trying to get in on it and muddy the waters. And I feel it's just another attempt by people trying to mess up the reparations movement so they can try to take what's really ours.
Yeah, some of these spaces, I'm not in them like that, so I can't really speak on exactly what they're saying, but it's some real interesting stuff happening out here. So, but again, foundational black Americans, we are a distinct nation, not just a group or a tribe, but we're a distinct nation, and we have to understand that.
They're trying to slide in on our reparations. They run around here saying, I'm not a foundational Black American, but I'm indigenous. I'm 22.3% Cherokee. I'm 52.5% Chickasaw. I was here first. I wants the money. You know what I'm saying? We've all seen the Black person that would walk around and say, I ain't Black, I'm really Indian. This is how my long hair and these eyelashes, and they start pointing to all these features and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to be foundational. They don't want to be foundational. And that's the type of shit that we talking about. People trying to muddy the waters for their own beneficial gain. And we got to stop them at the door. We got to G-check them. And we got to start putting labels down. And we got to let people know. FBA is the heritage. B-1 is the mentality. And certified is the class. And when I say class, I don't mean school. I say class as there's different levels to this shit. And we at the very top. That's what it is. And you got to understand their motives. So as me and Jason Black were talking about, the motives between the politicians is to buffer us into shit like the Ukraine war. And what I was talking to Tariq about was these Native American Indians that, if y'all notice, been taking that shit off their bios. You know what I mean? Go back 2-3 years ago when people weren't saying FBA and we weren't self-identifying on that level. They had American and Indian Negro. And they was talking about they was Pocahontas and Geronimo and all that shit. They didn't even know or care that foundational Black Americans were the first people on this continent. And the look that they're trying to go after came way after us. They were chasing that Disneyland version of Native American. We're living the reality of Native American. And since we've been kind of pushing that line, either some of them have been trying to flip it up and say, yeah, I'm with y'all now. Or the other ones are saying, man, y'all wasn't the real indigenous. I just seen it a minute ago, just a few minutes ago. Like I said, I done seen it in real life. Fuck the Twitter spaces. I seen it in real life. And we all have. Y'all remember back in school where the girl would walk around and say, I get these eyelashes and my cheekbones from being Indians. I'm not Black. My people weren't Black. We were never slaves. We was all Indians. They weren't talking about foundational Black people that we know are the facts. They were talking about Pocahontas from a damn Disney movie. That's what they was talking about. And if you know the real history of Pocahontas, you know that's some bullshit. But that's another story for another day. They were running around here basically saying, I'm prettier than you because I'm Indians. And you bads because you're Black. That's really what they were saying. And now that we done flipped it and said, no, well, actually, foundational Black Americans were here first. And we roamed this country thousands of years before anybody. So the true Native Americans are us. And that is scientific fact. That ain't up for your emotion. That ain't up for your opinion. Now they're saying, well, then I deserve the reparations too. I seen a Twitter space and it was all about Twitter Indians, because that's what I call them, Twitter Indians. And they were basically trying to denounce us and say they deserve the money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. But a lot of this has been going on for years, and right now it's getting G-checked and regulated because we are a force. And once we stepped in the building, everybody knows the game has changed. When we stepped in the building, all that bullshit of yesterday better pack the fuck up. You better bounce and kick rocks. If not, foundational's gonna get you. Because B1s are in the building. So these are just a few of the distractors, and these are just a few of these trolls. The Twitter Indians, the Ukraine guy on TV saying, help us, Black folks, help us, we need you, please, please. That type of shit. These are people trying to muddy the waters and get in. I had the Twitter space the other day, if y'all listen to it. There was an individual on there way off code. And you know, he got G-checked, we put it on him, you know, and I was speaking my mind, you know how I do. You know, Black AlphaCast, we like this 24/7, 365. You know, matter of fact, as I say, 25/8. All the way. So we had to regulate. No hard feelings. You know, it's not about emotion. It's strictly business. It ain't personal. People who are broke down and insecure, they always think things are personal. People who are handling business, they know it's just that, business. So as a Black B1, certified Black, FBA Black, I had to go ahead and put it down because we cannot allow people to fester and be off code. We can't allow that to happen. We've had that a lot. Matter of fact, that's something we touched on because the brother was saying, well, we just need to let everybody in. I said, well, letting everybody in got us in the position we are here now. We got a long history of letting everybody in. How has that worked? Give me an example of letting everybody in and how that shit has ever advanced us. You're going to get a lot of Judas and the Black Messiahs. That's what the fuck is going to happen. You're going to get a lot of sellouts. And we got a long history of sellouts. And we can't go for that. And that's the line that I stay kicking. That's the line I know you guys kick. And that's the line we're all going to kick. We're not here to break it down. We're not here to teach motherfuckers. We're here to be real, lead by example. I can inspire somebody. I can't teach you to be you. You have to be you. You have to make that personal decision to love being Black. And that's where the term B1 comes from. And I've been hearing a lot of people say that. They say B1 is the mentality, and that's absolutely positively correct. B1 is the mentality. FBA is the heritage. You can be an FBA and not be B1. Facts. We all know this shit. You see them all the time. You got FBAs right now. Black Lives Matter gonna say, well, we FBAs. My people was descendants of slaves, and they're also descendants of coons. You feel me? And we got to separate the descendants of certifieds and we got to separate the descendants of coons. And that takes me to certified black. That's my shit. Certified black society. We are the people who are high class. When I say high class, we understand the game. We're sharp. We're smooth. We stay focused. We stay unified, galvanized, mobilized. We stay on the same page, on the same line. And we know where we need to get and we know how to get there. And we're going to walk that path and never be knocked off it. That's when you're certified. It's like mind, body, and soul. You feel me? B-1 is the mind, FBA is the body, certified is the soul. When you got all three of those right there, you cannot be fucked with. And I know for a fact that all of us have all three because I can feel the energy. That's what I call certified energy. And it permeates between all of us. And once you have it, it's like getting up in the morning. Either you wake up with this shit or you don't. Either you wake up with it or your ass ain't gonna ever have it. So we ain't chasing it, baby. We owning it. And that's the line that we're on. And that goes back to everything that we say. So it's a compilation of all of our thoughts, our beliefs, and our practices. And when you put us all in the same place with that energy, the world can't see us. The world can't see us. We'll have a president from another goddamn country crying, talking about some MLK. Boy, you better get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. It's funny because, hey, go listen to my old video, MLK versus WLK, White Luther King versus Martin Luther King. And I talked about all this and I broke it down. And this is before the Ukraine war. I predicted all this shit, race receipt, cashier, checkmate. I predicted it. I said they always try to evoke Martin Luther King whenever they need us for something. But the problem is, or shall I say, the irony is, that usually goes on here in America with the dominant society and our politicians. You know what happens. Anytime a race soldier harms one of us, they pull out Martin Luther King. Anytime they rob us or they deceive us, they pull out Martin Luther King. The issue is we got motherfuckers in other countries trying to pull out Martin Luther King. That means we're operating on a global scale. That means we're affecting global change. When foundational black Americans go out here and we push the line, you see our brothers and sisters all over the world. Everybody follow suit. They're watching us. They're seeing what we're doing. And then they're following suit because we are the vanguard. We're the vanguard of this movement. Don't let nobody tell you different. Don't let nobody tell you different. We can get caught up in this diaspora war and all that shit, which what we do is we G-check. Yes, indeed. You come on some bullshit, you get G-check. But at the end of the day, the only reason that goes down is because we're the vanguard, which means we in front of the line and every motherfucking body else follows us. We are the fucking lieutenant. Everybody else is the foot soldier. That's what I'm talking about being a certified black. There's levels to this shit. And we are at the very top and in line, we in the very front. And you can't change that. You can't do nothing but respect it. And if you don't respect it, try to check it. But it's going to be a bad day and bad news going to beat you home. Bet that. So I love being a foundational black American. Hold on, y'all. I got to drink this goddamn drink. Y'all know how it is on the Black AlphaCast. We is unedited. We ain't playing none of that shit. We raw to the point. Black American, you know how we get down. Hold on. God damn, that shit good. We are the vanguard. Leaders of the new school, the same way we was leaders of the old school. Certified black society. So I salute all y'all. B1 to you. B1 up every day. I seen somebody put up a meme not too long ago. It said, foundational black Americans are the only group of people who are forced to have to share their lineage with everybody. Ain't that a motherfucker? We're the only group where everybody wants a piece of our heritage. Ain't that something? We don't do that shit to nobody else. You know, that's the shit that just, hey, that bothers me. That's the shit that really, really gets to me. Is that I know for a fact, and you guys all know, foundational black Americans, we don't go to other countries and try to eat off their plate or try to steal their lineage or steal their heritage. Foundational black Americans don't try to infuse and insert ourselves into other people's business. Fuck no. Fuck no. We don't do that to others, so we don't respect when others try to do that to us. All these reparations being handed out to everybody except for FBAs. And we ain't sat on none of their panels. We ain't never stopped what we're doing to go sit on another group's panel and try to get their money. We understand that's y'all shit. We worried about ours. We worried about ours. Foundational black Americans ain't ever went to no committee and said, well, we want their money. We want their tangibles. Can we get their resources? We don't go sit in on their reparations panels, but they do ours. We don't go to their protests, but they come to ours. We don't go to their rallies, but they go to ours. We don't go to their campaigns, but they go to ours. Listen to this. It's us. Come to us, come to us, come to us. And what do? We just focus on ourselves. We all about bettering ourselves, working on ourselves, being better people every single day. That's how foundational black Americans are. We're not sitting there trying to weasel or crowbar ourselves into somebody else's shit. But they do that shit to us on a consistent basis. They have a culture of trying to take what's ours. It ain't just one or two or three or skip forward and go to the next. No, these other groups have cultures of trying to come and take what's ours. Take the term reparations. The term reparations was brought to you by Black Americans. We are the ones who deserve reparations. We're the ones who pushed the line. Nobody was even talking about reparations until FBA brought it up. And now Joe Biden's handing that shit out like candy bars. So basically, we push the line, we create the narrative, and here come the vultures that swoop on in and try to take our shit. That's what I'm talking about. And speaking of reparations, it's the same thing that we were speaking about when it comes to these other groups that try to buffer themselves in, to people trying to muddy the waters and try to steal what's ours. Pure confusion. And everybody's out here to cause confusion amongst us because they know they cannot handle us when we're seeing straight and we're focused. So their only hope is that they can perhaps confuse us so they can come in like a thief in the night. And you know the craziest thing about reparations, and I'm gonna get to another point here in a minute, but the craziest thing about reparations is these other groups get their own reparations and still want ours. We all just said that Joe Biden's handing out reparations like candy bars. So these other groups are actually getting reparations, they're actually getting policies, and they're actually getting tangibles. And they still find time to come and get our shit. I'm telling you, it's the culture of it. It's a culture. There's not a group in this country that does not have a significant culture of stealing from foundational Black Americans. And it don't matter. It could be the biggest, the smallest, the tallest. It could be the smallest little policy, or it can be something like reparations. But they all get their own, and then they come and try to take our shit. Like James Small said. James Small said it best. They all operate off the system of what's mine is mine and what yours is mine if I can take it. And when I say take it, they know they can't just like take it on no brute shit. Take it is all based upon thievery, deception, backhanded, undermining ways. That's the only way people ever come at FBA, because they know coming at FBA is going to be a problem. So no. Nobody ever comes at us from the front door. Everybody comes through the back door. That's why we got to have troops and soldiers that surround this whole motherfucking house. We got to have people posted at the back door, posted at the front door, posted at all the windows, because at every single moment, there's somebody trying to break in the foundational Black American business, the foundational Black American culture, heritage, lineage, to try to get what belongs to us and take it back to their people. That is a fact. Now, to reparations. We had a discussion about reparations the other day on the Twitter space. Check it out. I'm going to post it. If you're listening to this and I've already posted it, check it out. You're going to love it. Great conversation. Real thorough brothers, thorough sisters, and certified Black folks. B1s all across the board. That's all we deal with. No time for nothing else, right? So as we had a lengthy discussion about reparations, we crossed this bridge. And it's about getting reparations. How do you get reparations? A lot of folks talk about having reparations and reparations coming, but they never talk about the process and how you're going to get it. Now understand, Black folks, we got to go through a process just to cross the damn street without being harmed by a race soldier. We can't even walk up the block. Literally, we can't walk up the block without encountering anti-Black racism. So if we have to actually get laws placed to allow us to walk down the fucking street, imagine what we're going to have to do when we start talking about reparations. Reparations is going to have to be done thorough, and we're going to have to be on code. When I say on code, we're going to have to be living it. And by living it, the first thing we're going to have to do, we're going to have to be our own advocates for reparations. And I'm talking about mentally, physically, spiritually, politically, and socially, all across the spectrum. Every goddamn where. Because when you look around, they're having a lot of reparations conversations. It's just FBAs and B1s aren't included. And the crazy thing is FBA and B1s, this is our policy. We're the ones who brought this up. We're the ones who started it. And we're the ones who are really pushing for it. But we're not being allowed. They're having them without us. Fuck that. That mistake is not going to happen. We are not going to allow that to happen. We all knew they was going to try to pull this shit. And I'm telling you, they're trying to pull it. Hashtagging reparations and saying cut the check ain't going to cut it. We're going to really have to get political and social and advocate for this. We're going to have to own it. Own it. We can't just not vote and say, okay, they're going to give us reparations because we didn't vote. No, fuck that. We're going to have to not vote, not play games, not fuck around, not waste time, and not let our hands off the steering wheel. Because 1 minute we slip, they're going to all lives matter reparations. And that's the billion-pound elephant in the room that we've all known. We've all known. And that's what we were discussing on the panel. I said what we need is we need to form our own B1 advocacy group for reparations so we can put ourselves in the front line. Straight up, because if we fall back 1 minute, I'm telling you, everybody else is going to be doing the reparations. I mean, think, they've had reparations panels with who? Danny Glover, the actor, that Bush chick, the politician, Cory Booker, the politician, Sheila Jackson.
It's the beginning of a process. This is the most intense conversation I believe that we're going to have in the 21st century right here. generation.
New at 10, actor and activist Danny Glover leading the charge for reparations tonight in Evanston. He spoke to crowds at all on the topic.
So those are the kind of long-term impacts that we don't realize that happen. Those children who were the descendants, not only slave, but the descendants of those generation who had the opportunities after World War II. Those children did not have the same opportunities, and now those children are abandoned as adults in that city, in that great city. So I think we have to kind of look at this, as people said often, that this is just a study, a look at racism. These are real issues that happen. They're long-standing issues that go back and find themselves resonating in slavery and going further than that. All the material that we have, all the books that we have now, all the studies that have been done has outlined that. We have to begin to tell ourselves the truth.
The stain of slavery was not just inked in bloodshed, but in the overt state-sponsored policies that fueled white supremacy and racism and have disadvantaged African Americans economically for generations. Many of the bedrock policies, in fact, that ushered generations of Americans into the middle class were designed to exclude African Americans, from the GI Bill to Social Security, intentionally designed to exclude blacks, as was school segregation, redlining, neighborhoods like the one in which I live, which were by design walled off and disinvested in.
And it's even more evident as we've seen the ugly head of racism raise its head over the last year or a couple of years because of the leadership, unfortunately, of the last president, who has created a divide, wanted to bring tension, evidenced by January 6th, where black officers were called names by the so-called patriots, but who are insurrectionists, and they want healing. And H.R. 40 is a form of healing and answering questions and determining why there's such an enormous wealth gap, why racism still exists, why the Voting Rights Act couldn't be passed, why we're still working to get the George Floyd police reform bill. All this ties in to disparities in how African Americans are treated. The NFL comes to mind. So I think that when I speak to people about healing, restoring, and fixing, which is repairing, they open their minds. It is not about accusing people who are just here. It is historically looking at the record why we're in the condition we're in today.
Black folks, B-1s, did y'all just hear that shit? Did you hear Danny Glover stumble all through the goddamn ding? He couldn't even talk. Did all that shit. He had his motherfucking shoes untied, or they was tied together. He was falling all over the fucking place. Man, this ain't Lethal Weapon. I'll call you when I want to watch Lethal Weapon. This ain't even the young Danny Glover. They got the old one. The young one, he can sit his ass down too. Neither one of them motherfuckers need to be on my reparations panel. We serious out here. The fuck out of here. Cory Booker, or whatever the fuck his name is, he was literally reading like a piece of paper. He went to this fraud-ass committee. Like I said, all of these committees are black Democrats, coons, suckers, sellouts, speaking on our reparations. He went to this committee with a piece of paper and was literally reading it. Reparations is this, and discrimination, trying to give us like a fucking history lesson. These things always turn into history lessons. We don't need no motherfucking history lesson. We done lived it. Living it today. They always go away from cutting us a check to a history lesson. Fuck the lesson. Give me the check. I'll go to fucking school and history class if I want to know about it. I want the goddamn money. That's what it's all about. So he's literally reading a pre-written statement that was handed to him by his supremacist sponsor. He's your typical Democrat talking that bullshit. And I mean, really, motherfucker, please sit down. Like I always say around my way, don't want to talk about it with you. I'm going to talk reparations with some people and it ain't never going to be him. And Sheila Jackson. What the fuck was that? This is the main one. As a matter of fact, as we say we don't have true reparations advocates and how we need to be our own reparations advocates, Sheila Jackson is the exact reason why. She is the main person you see whenever reparations comes up in this country. That's the saddest part about it. Anytime reparations comes up, she's like the face of it. Sheila Jackson is the face of foundational Black American reparations, and she doesn't even use the term foundational Black Americans. She uses the old, outdated, dry-ass term African Americans, which the real grassroots society rejected a long time ago. She's not even up to date on that. And think about it. In that small clip I played, she said African American. She blamed it all on Trump. She said the last president, we need reparations because of Donald Trump. She said the NFL. She started talking about healing and reconciliation, that South Africa shit. You see, she threw that in there as well. She said, it isn't about accusing anybody, aka, I'm not trying to be mean to your dominant society, because she knows that the majority of the dominant society gonna get upset if reparations come to us. So she's already throwing out her don't rock the boat excuses. We're not blaming anyone. We're just saying, we kind of want our money, making excuses. This is who's leading the reparations push? Nah, that ain't gonna cut it. Family, we gotta become our own reparations advocates, our own exclusive B-1 advocates for reparations. That is it. For us, by us, only us, and remove everybody out the room, and only the real ones can stand up. We want FBA reparations. They're gonna try to give us Democrat reparations, Black Lives Matter reparations, symbolic reparations, gesture reparations, everybody go out and vote reparations, anybody but Trump reparations, vote blue no matter who reparations, let's heal as a nation reparations. Fuck that. I want FBA reparations for the descendants of American slavery, freedmen. It's all about race for reparations and reparations representation. Your representation ain't right, then the check ain't coming. And what I'm about in Black Alpha Network, B1 Certified Black Society, I'm all about getting the right reparations representation. That's where the mind's at. What I've come to examine, B1s, y'all feel me, rock with me. What I've examined, and I've studied it, and I did a deep comprehensive study on who's controlling the reparations conversation. And what I've seen is that 99% of reparations advocates are Democrats. Our reparations movement is being led by Black Democrats. Is that who you want leading the reparations conversation? Are these the social justice warriors that you want to put reparations in their hands? Because that's what's happening. That's what's happening. And I'm talking about in the political world, the world that matters. In the political world right now, the people who are controlling the reparations conversation and the advocates are Black Democrats. Straight up and down. No lie. Look it up, y'all. It's out there. I want y'all to do it and hit me up. We'll chop it up because we got to come up with solutions to remove these folks. That's it. That's got to be priority number one. Priority number one, and this is what I was telling everybody on my Twitter space. Priority number one is we need to right now get together and form a B1 reparations advocacy group that is true to us. Straight up and down. We cannot have no cosplaying, no decoys running our reparations conversation because they are going to all lives matter this shit. Eventually, Black Lives Matter gonna get the reparations if you don't stop. And it's happening right now. And we all know they was gonna pull this shit. So priority number one has to be, we gotta take ownership of this shit. Straight up, politically, socially, across the board. We have to be our own advocates for reparations. Straight up and down. Y'all look it up. Look it up. Black Democrats are having all the reparations conversations. Whoever's having the conversations, whoever's having the committees, whoever's going in front of Washington, D.C., those are going to be the people who make reparations. And once they make it, that's it. It's over. You got one shot, one swing. Don't let them fuck it up. Won't be a part two. And the Black Democrats' main job is the same thing that I was talking to Jason Black about. Their main job is to be sent in and to water down the reparations movement. It's to all life matter the reparations movement. They said, oh yeah, this is what the dominant society said. Joe Biden included. They said, oh yeah, you got these B1s running around. They talking about boycotting. They talking about not voting. They talking about not taking orders. They talking about they want reparations for the descendants of American slavery. We don't give reparations for the descendants of American slavery. We give reparations to everybody else. Rainbows and every damn body. Except for black folks. Yeah, grab the phone. Let's pick up the phone. Let's send in all of our Democrat minions. The ones on TV, CNN, ABC, the fake politicians. Let's put together a bunch of fake panels, a bunch of fake studies. Let's send them in and have them use fake woke terms, fake woke words, fake woke slogans, so they can act like they're speaking on behalf of B1s. They can act like they're speaking on behalf of FBAs. But in reality, they'll just give you a bunch of watered down bullshit, and when it's all said and done, they'll all lives matter this motherfucker so much, it'll look like affirmative action. That's the play. It's the same play. So be careful of these politicians out there trying to talk tough. Y'all been seeing it? Sheila Jackson was doing that. We gonna get some reparations for what we done did. You're seeing all these fake woke motherfuckers out here, and they're acting like us. I'm telling you, they be sitting there with their little fucking starter kit and their little pen and pad and taking notes. Okay, B1 say this. Okay, let me say that. B1 say that. Okay, let me say that. Oh, this is what FBAs are thinking. I'm gonna say it too. That's what they be doing. Be careful. 90% of these motherfuckers out here talking reparations ain't really about it. The only people who are really about it are certified B1s. Everybody else is acting, pretending, just so they can take what's ours, just so they can take our movement and they can spin it. We cannot let the vote blue no matter who crowd lead the reparations movement. We cannot let the All Lives Matter crowd lead the reparations movement. We cannot let the Anybody But Trump crowd lead the reparations movement. These are B-1 foundational Black Americans who have to control the game. So we got to be our own advocates. We got to form our own advocacy group, and that's based on the code. If your ass ain't down with the code, you can't be a part of the group. If you ain't a part of the group, you cannot speak on reparations. Straight up. I mean, you can speak on it, but ain't nobody going to listen. We're the ones who control the talking points. We're the ones who control the narratives. We're the ones who have the power. So now we need to transition this power into political power. And this political power has to be the ones who punch reparations in. Because it's going to be a tug of war, straight up and down. I've seen panels, and I'm not making this shit up. Y'all can Google it. Hit motherfucking YouTube right now and you will see what I'm talking about. I've seen panels for foundational Black American reparations that don't even have foundational Black Americans on it. They have immigrants and tethers talking about all shit. I ain't lying. I've seen panels for foundational Black American reparations where they're still using the term African American. Matter of fact, they've never used the term foundational Black American. They're still saying African American. And you think that's fucked up? Listen to this shit. I literally seen them say, we are fighting for reparations for African Americans who are the descendants of American slavery. Can I say that one more time? If you didn't catch it, let me say it twice. Let me say it twice. They said, we are fighting for reparations for African American people who are the descendants of American slavery. Damn. Ladies and gentlemen, African Americans are not descendants of American slavery. Foundational Black Americans are. These are the people who are leading the conversation for reparations. These are the people who are leading the committees for reparations. These are the people sitting on the panels for reparations. So it's time that we move them the fuck out the way and we become the only advocates for foundational Black American reparations because we are the only foundational Black Americans. And we got to vet everybody. We got to vet. We have to vet everybody in our community anyway, but when it comes to reparations, we got to completely vet everybody. Look at the Freedmen's Bureau. Freedmen's Bureau is good, but who's the lead of it? A Hispanic woman. Yep. Not an FBA, a Hispanic woman. This is what I'm talking about. We got to be very clear when we start talking this. Anything can sound good by design, but who's running the ship? That's what I want to see. Who's behind that curtain? And they're going to continuously give us these policies and give us these groups where FBAs are not included. And that ain't going to work. That ain't going to cut it, and I ain't down for that. We can easily landmark who is an FBA, and we can trace our heritage. That's cool. That's the easy part. The real part is who's going to advocate and who's on code advocating. Because you can have all the FBA heritage lined up, you can have all the FBA lineage lined up, and you can have all designations on who's going to get the check. But the check ain't ever going to come if you got a bunch of clowns advocating for it. So we got to do that for us. Know that. So any group that doesn't have us on it is an illegitimate group that will not be recognized by the grassroots certified Black society. That's how we're going to achieve it. Getting the suckers out the way, getting the decoys out the way, and taking control over what's ours. And it starts with making a true B-1 advocacy group, having true B-1 panels and true B-1 committees. And we got all the soldiers, all the intelligence, all the smart-minded people, and all the money to do it. Because we ain't going to hashtag our way to reparations. We're going to have to snatch it. And I'm all down for it. Sign me up. B-1. So that's big facts all across the board. It's time we start transitioning our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions into true organizational skills. We can't have 50 different people with 50 different ideas because we'll be going 50 different ways. And that ain't going to get it done. We're going to have to stay on code. We're going to have to represent the code. And we're going to have to move as a unit, move as a team, move as a family. That's how we're going to get reparations. We looking for on-code reparations. They trying to give us off-code reparations. Because I'm telling you, we keep letting these people who are on these panels right now control the reparations conversations. Man, everybody in America gonna get them except for us. We're gonna be left with $5 and a Black Lives Matter sticker. And I don't want that shit. Keep it. You feel me? So it's B-1 all day long, and this goes back to everybody trying to get in on what's ours, and that's why we gotta label it real clear. FBA B-1 Certified Black Society. If you ride that wave, then we rock with you. If you're not on that wave, get the fuck out. Simple as that, simple and plain. And you gotta be stern with it. We can't be running around here talking about well, you know, we all friends and everybody's the same and let everybody come in. Everybody can speak. We don't give out Black participation trophies. That ain't what we doing. No, you go to kindergarten for that shit. They'll give you 100 of them. When you come to B-1s, get your shit together before you come. Get your shit together, all right? Have your mind right, have your money right, and let's do what we do. And we got the mind and we got the money, so I don't want to hear nothing I want to see black folks on code, and I want to see black folks getting what's properly ours, removing all the mess, getting rid of all the games, and anybody who's here on some bullshit and trying to not rock the boat, then they got to get the fuck out. Simple and plain. That goes for reparations, that goes for Twitter Indians, and that goes for any politician who's trying to lead us astray. The buffer class, the sucker class, all of them. Doesn't it feel good to be a foundational black American these days? Don't it feel good? I mean, it's got to feel good. I mean, we done created something so big, so strong that everybody in the world is trying to duplicate it. Everybody around the world got their fake off-brand version of a copy. They try to duplicate it, but they can't hang with us. They can't run with us because their hands don't reach that high. Do not. So that means that we got to be on game. It's got to mean it. That's the only one thing. When everybody in the world is trying to be like you, trying to act like you, dress like you, talk like you, want in on your reparations, your power, your spirit, your soul, when everybody is trying to steal that, then that's got to mean that you number one. And that's exactly what foundational black Americans are. In reality, man, we like the talk of the world right now. We the talk of the world. Foundational black Americans are the talk of the world. They got wars going on, but motherfuckers is still out here talking about FBAs. We on the top of every single conversation because that means the shit done changed. That means the game done changed. That means we own it now. And that means we are in full control and we driving the bus. I remember a time when everybody that was driving the bus was a motherfucker who had no business behind the wheel. When the Coon Caucus was driving the bus, and the Sambos, and the sellouts, and the counterfeits, and the bootlickers, all of them. And that's why we ended up with the Obamas of the world. That's why we ended up with the Clarence Thomases of the world, and the crime bills, and every motherfucking thing that's occurred. That's because who was driving the bus. And now that we driving the bus, you getting reparations, you getting B-1, you get motherfuckers ran off the block, you get motherfuckers checked. We out here telling folks about themselves. Oh yeah, I tell them, we got motherfuckers on that I see your ass list. And if you are officially on that I see your ass list, you been getting checked. Foundational black Americans have been going one by one, just going down the list of everybody who's ever tried to play us, anybody who's trying to play us, or anybody who's even thinking about trying to play us. We've been checking their ass before they get started. So I say all of that to say this. That can only lead me, and that can only mean one thing. This is foundational black American season. And we in full effect and we in full swing. And we're going to continue today to do what we do every day. And that's put motherfuckers in check, break down the real things, and have a real productive conversation about black empowerment, black strength, black plight, and taking this thing to a high level that it's never been before. And the onus is on us. It's our era. And in our era, we're going to do something they've never seen before. I always say this. You've seen FBAs before, but you ain't never seen them like this. Better know that. And it's got to be good. And it's got to be FBA season. And you got to be proud to be an FBA. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, we didn't have to run to any other country. We didn't have to flee where we was from. We didn't have to leave our families behind, tuck our tail, be cowards and run. We didn't have to do none of that. Nah, we stood where the fuck we was at. We built where the fuck we was at. We unified where we were at. And we turned this into something so damn big that everybody got a problem with it. I don't know. It's either or. Either motherfuckers got a problem with it or motherfuckers is trying to duplicate it. Matter of fact, you got motherfuckers who got a problem with it who are still duplicating it at the same time. How the fuck you gonna have a problem with FBA and it still walk, talk, and act like FBA? I told you, man, we the real thing. These motherfuckers is off-brand. These motherfuckers off-brand all day. Hey, I said I want Captain Crunch, not Lieutenant Snaps. These motherfuckers is the off-brand cereal in the back row. That's what they are, because they can never be like FBA. They can try hard, they can act, they can try to do what we do, they can try to speak how we speak, but they can never pull it off. We are so on code right now that we spotting all the imposters and we calling out all the fakes before they even try it. Before they even get the words out their mouth, before they try to even run them con games. Nice try. Where you from? Where your people from? I'm getting a strong Caribbean vibe from you. I'm getting an African vibe from you. All that $2 shit? Nah, bruh. We checking all that shit at the door. All that Judas and the Black Messiah and these motherfuckers coming around. FBA, we out here gatekeeping. And we gatekeeping in a strong way. Any person who comes around us right now and they're trying to act like they're FBAs or they're trying to derail us and do that sneaky shit, we are calling them out. Gone are the days where they could try to pull them cons and them tricks on us and try to act like us so they can bring us down from the inside. We ain't doing that. We stopping everybody. Who are you? Where are you from? Are you FBA? Where your lineage? What your heritage go back to? Where your people originally from? We created that. That is clear terminology to designate who is and who ain't. Who can come on the inside the house and who better keep their ass on the outside. Who's real and who's fake. This is what you call gatekeeping, family. And I'm so proud to see our people do this right now because we all know the lack of gatekeeping has been the biggest problem. And I'm super proud to see us holding shit down and regulating. And anybody who's coming around on that BS, one of us, somebody from Foundational Black America gonna check them. And then when they get checked, the rest gonna get checked and we gonna keep doing it like that over and over and over. And that's the way the game's going. Because FBA is making the front page, baby. We superstars right now. We running shit. Make no doubt about it. This is FBA season and you could see it. If you want to see the evidence, turn on the TV, turn on the internet. You can't go nowhere without hearing FBA come out of people's mouths. Straight up and down. Either we gonna be repping FBA and saying that shit loud, or motherfuckers gonna be hating on FBA. But either way, FBA is being talked about. You know, what's the group? American Democrats of Slavery, or that group? They running around here just literally blocking folks with FBA in their tagline. The very fact that their group and their leaders or whoever are getting mad right now and are so upset with FBA, that's in the middle of defeat. And they run around talking about, I'm the mama of the community. And all that shit that they talking about, all that wild bullshit, all that is in the middle and an accepting of defeat. That you came up with a term, other people came up with terms, and theirs outlasted yours and went further. Straight up and down. Or you came up with whatever it is that you came up with, a group or a shield organization or whatever it is. You understand? What we do know for sure is that that group and that word and that term is not being talked about. No one uses it and no one's really on it. That's like a train that then came and went. It's old. It's yesterday's newspaper. Where it at? You feel me? What we do know for sure is that Foundational Black American is a term that has reigned supreme, and that's the term that the people have decided. And it's all about the will of the people. It's not about no group. It ain't about no organization, no one person, two person, three person. It's a collective effort from the people. And whatever the people and the populace decides on, that's where the shit is going to go to. The people. It's all about us as a group, as a community. Talking about you, the surrogate mom of the community, and you trying to take ownership over a whole lineage. Shit, that's sucker shit. And I'll never condone any motherfucker who's on that game. So, as I said, FBA is making motherfuckers upset to the point that they running around here talking about they own all Foundational Black America. Getting exposed is a crazy thing, man. You know, hey, what my man said, cocaine is a hell of a drug. So is getting exposed. When the main group does not even talk about you, but you spend all day talking about them and you getting on the internet and you're literally going just to regular people and trying to take out your little issues with FBA on the individuals, that little shit like that, oh, that means it's jealousy. Jealousy is a motherfucker. Jealousy will have you doing some strange things. It'll have you doing some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? Like claiming you the mother of the motherfucking community when you really ain't. And saying that you the mother of the community when you couldn't even fill up a fucking pizzeria with enough people. You know what I'm saying? So that's another motherfucking one. We on to the next one. You got these tethers coming over here talking about FBA. We on the front page. You got politicians out here sliding in foundational, throwing these little words in there. Now they're starting to say foundational a little more. Y'all notice that? I seen a little article the other day and they said the foundational, and they're slipping that word in. You know what I'm saying? One is because we're forcing them to. Because they be calling us Negro, colored, or African American until the fucking cows came home. You understand? But until we stepped up and changed it, now they're acknowledging us. And they're only acknowledging us, like we always say right here on the Black Alpha Network, is because we force them to. When we force them to acknowledge us, that's when we get shit done. And right now, we're getting it done to the point, we the talk of the world, we the talk of the county, city, state, wherever the fuck you at, people know what FBA means. And when you get that type of energy going, ho, 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 that's a game changer. That's a game changer. Dangerous for them, empowerment for us. And that's exactly where you want to be in an anti-black race war. So I salute all my Foundational Black Americans. Let's keep making them mad. You know, let's keep these motherfuckers jealous. Let's keep these motherfuckers talking about us because they're gonna blow us up. You know what I'm saying? To the motherfuckers that be blocking people on the internet, motherfucker block me and I ain't even been on their page. I'm just repping black empowerment, standing for black liberation, doing whatever it takes and working with whoever I need to help advance the black community. It's in my heart, it's in my soul. And Black Alpha Network is all of us together. So anytime you got a problem with Black Alpha Network, that means you got a problem with every single one of us because we all a team, we all one family. You know, we like the motherfuckers when they say, oh, you can come, but your brothers and sisters can't come. Well, if my brothers and sisters can't come, I ain't coming. And matter of fact, fuck you then. We come in as one or we ain't coming at all. And that's how we are. So motherfuckers keep on talking about us. You're going to blow us up. Shit, we're going to go 7 times platinum. We're going to go diamond in this bitch. So keep worrying about Black Alpha Network, keep worrying about Certified Black Society, keep on worrying about B-1, and stay jealous of FBA because that's their problem, not ours. Only thing we're doing is continuing to push things and vet the community. That's what we're doing. So we're staying on a grind. That's another thing I'm proud about from our community is that we are holding it down and we're vetting people real precise. You ever notice that the emotion's kind of gone now too? I'm seeing this right now with black folks. The emotion is kind of gone. This is what happens when B-1 certifieds are in control. This is what happens when the Coon Caucus and all the other motherfuckers is removed. We are in control, and I'm starting to see a lack of emotion now. I'm starting to see black folks being more about business. It ain't never personal. It's only business. The person who's really out here chasing the money or really got some type of hustle about them and is striving to persevere, they don't give a fuck about emotion because they're too busy handling business, too focused on getting what's theirs. And that's where we are right now. You could just see the change. Y'all feel it? Tell me if you feel it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, let me know something. Do y'all feel that same change in energy where black folks ain't on all the emotion no more? We not out here talking about some Trayvon Martin and 400 years and we are suppressed and listen to me. Black folks ain't on that no more. Black folks saying, fuck you, cut the check. Black folks saying, fuck you, pay me. That's what we are right now. Oh, you ain't FBA, get the fuck up out of here. I don't hear that emotion shit no more. We're starting to really change the tide right now. I'm telling everybody. I've been screaming this shit as loud as I can. I'm on the top of the motherfucking mountain screaming it. B-1 certified foundational Black American season is in effect and the ramifications are shooting through the fucking world right now. The fact that everybody around the world is hating us is letting us know that we being felt everywhere. You ain't hating us from way the fuck over the ocean if we ain't making an impact way the fuck over there. You ain't hating us in Washington, D.C. if we ain't making an impact in there. You ain't hating us from whatever fucking place you come from unless you are feeling the impact of what we've created. And we've all created. This is us. It's a us thing. They wouldn't understand it. You know what I mean? This is a foundational thing. This is a certified thing. They wouldn't get it. Couldn't get it if they tried. We're literally focused on business. We're literally chasing the bag. We're not being derailed. We're not being knocked off our pivot. We're not being knocked off our path. Look at everything they've thrown at us about reparations. We still haven't changed it. This is what you call real truth to power. We taking everything we think about, everything we believe, and everything we stand for, and we actually going out and doing it, and we ain't letting no motherfucker get us in another direction. We ain't emotional no more. We ain't crying about shit. We out here getting to the motherfucking money. We ain't out here falling for every trick and con game that they throw at us. We getting to the money. We're not falling for straw man arguments and energy drainers. We get into the fucking money. Think about this. They throw out all these fucking tethers coming about us. We still talking reparations. Joe Biden tried to give us some new first black fucking Supreme Court motherfuckers. Black folks didn't even give a fuck about that shit. We said, where the money at? Reparations. Nice try. Give me my goddamn money. They got a war going on right now. Russia and the Ukraine. All they talking about 24/7. And they trying to run that patriotism and that I'm proud to be an American. Man, black folks saying, yeah, I'm proud to be a foundational Black American. Speaking of that, where my fucking money? Reparations. That's a war, a first black Supreme Court justice, and tethers all in 1 week. And we still talking about reparations. They ain't been able to change the subject. They ain't been able to change our mind. They ain't been able to get us to stop. And they ain't been able to get us emotional. Goddamn. If you ain't know this foundational Black American season, then you know now. Bet. All right, family, it's been good kicking it with y'all again. The love is highly appreciated. I always tell y'all to stay safe out there, and I really, really mean that because they're throwing a lot of stuff at us. It's about to be the summertime, and you know everything gets turned up in the summer. So I want all of y'all to stay safe, stay on yours, take care of your family, get money, do your thing, and I'm going to be right here all the time. Pull up to the Twitter Spaces. I think we probably going to do one every Friday night, sometime during the week. You know the AlphaCast is always right here, and we just going to keep it coming, keep it growing, keep building, and keep working together. And that means all of us. Not one of us, not some of us, all of us. And just keep on growing, y'all. Just keep on growing, keep on evolving, and make things happen and sticking together, because that's the most important part. And if we do those things, we'll be able to achieve everything that we want. And I'm talking about for the whole community and for everybody in the future. That's a real one. As a matter of fact, when you see the picture with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, when they were meeting and they were shaking hands, a lot of people don't know what was said. We see the picture and we just kind of freeze on that because it's a powerful picture, but the words were even more powerful. Malcolm X told Martin Luther King, he said, minds are changing, people are evolving, and we got to basically stick together and stand strong. So I'm going to say that in a Black Alpha Network 2000s plus style. My way of saying that is, as shit get real, we going to get real right along with it, and we going to do it together. All of us is one big family. One love. Yo, hit me up on the Twitter space. I want to talk to all y'all. Oh, hey, and I appreciate everybody who came through and told me how they love the AlphaCast and they love my energy and my rawness and how it really touches them and motivates them. That right there, I highly appreciate. Thank you very much, man. So y'all have a good day. I'm going to end it how I always end it, and I'm going to end it with something that everybody knows, but we going to say it anyway. And that is, black is beautiful and beautiful is black. Salute.